So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to invite our next speaker. He is, of course, as we have introduced him to you earlier, a celebrated author, an authority on national security and AI, and of course, he has served his nation, dedicated his life to serving his nation. Please put your hands together for Lieutenant General PJS Pannu, retired PVSM, AVSM, VSM, is currently the Chief Strategy Officer at NADDSO. May I request him to kindly address the August gathering.
Jai Hind, good morning. Thank you, Raj, for bringing ICRA to USI from Vigyan Bhavan. In fact, this Mahakumbh, really speaking of the startups, coming to USI actually is incidental but highly symbolic. I think this Mahakumbh is going to be prepared to fight the Mahabharat of the startups and technology in the world. And I think we are going to win that Mahabharat. As General Sethi said about Elon Musk, I think we sometimes feel sad and wanting when we face a failure, but I think it is a failure ultimately which leads to success. If we have faced a failure, it means we have passed the first class of success. And I think many of us who are into research and development and finding the new possibilities would have faced that. And if you have faced that, now you know that you are in the next phase of achieving success. The power of future machines, as was spoken about in the morning, how the machines are going to drive the future of mankind. It reminds me of इंसान ने जन्म दिया मशीनों को, मशीनों ने उन्हें बेरोजगार दिया कि मशीनों ने उन्हें रोजगार दिया. I think मशीनों ने हमें रोजगार ही नहीं, I think machines are going to be leading us to greater possibilities of achievement. The research and development is going to be more exponential. We are going to see accelerated acceleration in the future because the machines are going to empower our research and development and the possibilities of scale. The research and development is going to take us through the struggles of the analog processes and make digital processes much faster. I'm not talking about ChatGPT because ChatGPT is also, I think, a vicious cycle which leads us and do not know whether we are being misled or led, only time will tell. But I think in India what we have is the human capital is so strong that machines will never be able to ride a Hindustani, but Hindustani ultimately will produce machines which we will ride to success, and that is what I'm talking about, the Mahabharat of startups and the technology. ICRA actually is symbolic of the modernization and future of possibilities. And today when we talk about the new organization of NADZO, the drones are not going to be, or are already not just a flying machine. We thought, the initiation of drones is something which flies, which makes sound. And then the possibility of automation and possibility of it replacing the aircraft, now possibility slowly of it also nearly replacing the space or being part of the aerospace community is, I think, largely making it possible for the drones to be seen not only as a fighting entity in the warfare as is being seen globally, but I think we need to have a drone core. Now, those in the military would understand core differently, but also for the military, I feel that it is very important to have the core of drone. But also, the core actually means people who work together in the same direction, like a diplomatic corps. I think in the startup core also we need a drone core so that we can all come together and work on automation in a manner that whether a drone is used for undersea operations, on the surface, in the third dimension of flying in the air as an aerial platform, or going to near space. And I have some of my very worthy officers who I associate with them sitting here, and I see that their guidance will essentially lead the startups to yet another level, not only from the military perspective. Anybody who can actually serve the military as far as technology is concerned, you have already actually reached a higher threshold of performance. You know, your delivery, your promise, your hardcore acceptability to global standards, because when military fights a battle, it is not fighting a localized battle. It is not fighting with the immediate neighbor. It is actually fighting the best in the world. So therefore, if any technology has to be provided for the military, it has to be of that high order where any military officer or a general would say, yes, this is going to the best in the world because it will make me win war, which is going to be application of machinery to the better ability what the adversaries can actually put against us. So we have an adversary actually who is very high on technology. Our northern adversary, our competitor, and I think a great motivator, because you see what happens is, unless you have opposition, you will never be able to prepare and create benchmarks that you have to surpass. So the benchmarks which our adversary has created for us are big enough for us to brace up for the future. So therefore it is important for us to provide for the military, which actually does a better job with the machines against the adversary. So I think indigenization, Atmanirbharta, and bringing the industrial complex to a level that defense industrial complex also becomes better than any of our adversaries can put together. And then we not only produce for India, we produce for the world, which means we have a competitive edge in the world. So that is what is extremely important. Heartiest congratulations to ICRA. ICRA has been accepted really to come under the umbrella of the PMO. Heartiest congratulations, Raj Sharma.
Thank you,
you have actually brought ICRA to a level that PMO has accepted you through Professor Ajay Kumar to come and be supportive of technology. And I think the entire participants here of the ecosystem of startups or otherwise supporters of startups, like those who are going to be investors into these startups, I think will ultimately land up in the PMO's umbrella through ICRA. Thank you very much. We look forward to better interaction, good direction, and great synergy for building a great nation together. Thank you. Jai Hind.